Okay, if it's Wednesday afternoon at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, that can mean just one thing. It's time for the goRIA live stream. I'm Chuck Vela, and as I like to do on these Wednesday afternoons is put a spotlight on what's new over at www.goRIA.com. And what's new this week is, as we generally do every 2 weeks, is a brand new podcast. And this week that just dropped, it's right up on top of the goRIA page if you go there today, is an interview and conversation really that I had with Corey Kupfer. Now you'll likely know that Corey is one of our industry's top experts in M&A for all things RIAs and wealth management firms and so on and so forth. And the reason why I was particularly excited to speak with him, a bit of a self-serving reason, is that my firm, Sovereign Financial Group, is up for sale. Dramatic pause, kind of. Now, what I mean by this is I am absolutely in the process of doing a partial succession plan with the intent of moving some of my equity, which is still 100% at this point, I'm the founder of the firm, over to some key advisors and operations folks, next gen support staff and all this. So what I'm looking to do is essentially provide for continuity. I'm not quite ready to leave the firm or leave the industry, not even close. I am very much ready to leave fixing broken APIs. I am very much ready to leave rewriting HR policies. I'm very much ready to leave doing internal trade audits. What I'm not ready to leave is working with clients, right? I've been doing this for 30 years. So these are clients for sure, but really more like friends. These are people I vacation with that I've had at my wedding and so on and so forth. So that part's not going to change. You know, as I like to say, I'll stop serving my clients when they pry my laptop out of my cold, dead hands. What else is not going to change is my being CEO. I'm going to retain that position and continue to do the strategic leadership for the firm, setting our direction, setting new initiatives, for example, like the one we just had or just kind of finished. It seems like it's just the start of it, though, but we launched our own 40 Act fund, essentially a fund of funds for alternative investments. What a cool initiative that was. It was a heck of a lot of work. It's trading now, which we're very excited about. But those types of things I will keep doing. Working with clients, major sovereign initiatives, and really being the face of Sovereign, continuing, of course, the work that I do with Investment News and goRIA, but all those other things, the APIs, the HR policies, that I'm going to be very, very pleased to put in the hands of some very capable G2 folks that we have on hand right now. But I do believe that for them to do the type of work for that I would do, they need to be an owner as I am too. So that's what we're looking to do. This is why I was so pleased to deal with or talk with Corey, I should say, from DealQuest. I was on his podcast a few weeks ago. I was super glad to have him on goRIA this week. And I had the opportunity to talk with him about my personal plans. But of course, in addition for me, it's not just for me, it's for anyone that is currently in RIA. And also if you're looking to go RIA. One of the things I'd like to talk about on this show is how wonderful the RIA space is, right? Higher payouts, sure, that's table stakes. Greater freedom, that's what people really, really love, and I think focus on a lot, and for good reason. Freedom to serve your clients as you wish, serve the populations that you want, how you want to do it. Of course, the freedom to market and do PR and all kinds of really fun things in the media. But what really is interesting too, and I think not talked about enough, is the end game for you as an RIA. What are your options for succession plans, either full or like what I'm doing, more of a partial succession plan? The options that you have in the RIA space, I would argue, and Corey, I think, was in lockstep with me on this one, they are far greater than that in the broker-dealer space. So here's a little taste of what Corey and I spoke about to give you an idea. So for me, what I want to do is put the equity into their hands, because my belief is this. The only way I'm going to get someone to run Sovereign and to literally love Sovereign the way I love it like a third child. I really do. And you talk to a lot of founders, entrepreneurs. That's not being, hyperbolic. Hyperbolic when you're exaggerating, whatever that word is.
Yeah.
Hyperbolic. Yeah, I'm not being hyperbolic about it. Like I really love it.
Yep.
And I believe the only way to get the next gen to love it as much is they have to own it as well. And it's a matter of putting the equity into their hands. Could you help me and anyone else listening, of course, compare and contrast selling to private equity, selling, and I guess a subset of that is selling to a minority stakeholder, and we know a lot of players in that space, or selling
Yeah.
to the next gen? What are some pros and cons
So,
on each one of those
okay.
options?
So,
Yeah, listen,
like
I
the
think
discussion
there's
we
two
had about
main.
the different, options P, minority, et cetera, we have to match the vehicle with the people and what you're trying to incentivize. So the difference
Hmm.
between, for example, phantom equity and real equity is that, well, phantom equity, first of all, is not real equity. It's virtual equity. It's equity equivalent, whatever you want to call it. It is a contractual right to be treated as if, and those are the two key words, as if you had equity. Now, that what that means is that you can get the economic benefit of equity. So if there's an exit event, and you have 5% phantom equity, you can get 5% of the proceeds, right? But it's not really the proceeds. That's the key point. It's effectively deferred comp that you're getting on an ordinary income basis, right? So it's
Right.
not as tax advantaged. And you also don't have voting rights, although true equity can be non-voting as well, but you definitely don't have voting rights. So there's a number of differences. We won't get too down that rabbit hole. People should get their own advice on that, obviously. But what because it's not true equity, it's used often for, like some people want to create a program in which they have a broad range of their key, whether it's advisors, whether it's, key executives, to be aligned on the longer term success of the company, right? But
Hmm.
they don't want to give up equity. So, and for certain people where you're going to give them a couple of percent here or percent here or whatever, and it's some sort of incentive program. It's basically a deferred comp incentive program match, like tied into being a virtual like equity like,
Right.
then that might be appropriate for those folks. But if you are bringing in some very high level key employees, whether that's a big advisor who has a book of business, if you're in a model where you're running an actual
Hmm.
RIA firm, or for somebody like you who is creating a platform where your executive team is more and more key as you've grown already, and as you continue to grow,
Hmm.
and as you want to get freed up, and as you want to be able to rely upon like top executive people to be able to build this platform for your advisors. Those kind of folks are probably sophisticated enough and have other options, right? Where phantom equity may very well not be enough for them, right? And those people will understand the tax differences, and also psychologically, right? There are certain folks who are like, they want to be an owner, like, and
Yeah.
maybe they don't make the jump right to a platform like yours from wherever they are, where they might be very highly compensated, but they don't have ownership, and that's the thing that'll bring them over. And phantom equity is probably not going to be enough for folks like that. So that's the use case, which, again, without providing any direct legal advice, to you or general advice, it seems a firm like yours is much more likely to go down the route to have those kind of high level people truly vested and have truly owners and think like an owner and act like an owner. And Phantom probably won't get you there.
Yeah, that was exactly the conclusion I came to as well. Because I always look at it, well, like, what would I do? Right? I want, as I said, someone that is as experienced as I am, but younger, so maybe a little bit less experienced, because they need to have an even longer runway than I have for
Sure.
this to work. But really the commitment to the firm, to our goals, to our mission.
Okay.
So as you can
And I
see, I was
really think
really
that's always.
getting a lot of good free information for myself. But joking aside, I think it's good information for anyone that has an RIA, and also, as I said earlier, if you are looking to go RIA, this is another layer of reasons why the RIA space is so attractive. So if you have a firm and you're looking for exit options, we talk about that, not just the route I'm taking, which happens to be more internal succession, but Corey touched upon external succession, PE firms, minority stakes. There's so many different options out there, which is the beauty of this space. And it was really great that Corey spent some time with us to help us parse through the different routes to take. And as he said, and I fully agree with this, there is no one right option. So what's right for me may not be right for you, may not be right for someone else. But Corey did a great job in breaking down what those options are, the pros and cons to each one. So this is really an excellent episode if you are thinking about some sort of succession plan at your shop, or of course, if you are not even an RIA yet, it's a really good exposure to what some other ancillary benefits are to going RIA. So with that said, it's right up there on top at www.goria.com. I would highly suggest to check this one out. It's a great one. And that's it. I'll be here again next week, Wednesday at 3 o'clock, with some more spotlighting of whatever's new on Go RIA then. Thanks for joining me. Take care.